Yes, guys, welcome to the podcast. These both are fucking about as usual.
Never. He's lying.
And I'm Deck, you breathing's bare heavy. You're about to blow my ears off.
Well, the problem is, mate, you'll understand when you're actually big.
What do you weigh?
50 pounds heavier than you specifically.
Hold on, let me have a look at your pictures recently.
Have a guess.
I've definitely got you the most muscular now, bruv.
You are fucking dumb.
I've got you the most.
If I was stood in front of you, you would be able to see you. You'd be gone.
Bro, I know how to get big triceps as well now, don't worry. I pin them as well.
I do look stoned, do you, don't I?
Yeah. I thought you were on the good gummies or something.
Okay, mate, it's that leg session there and the fact that I've had about 4.5 hours sleep all week.
Right. Guys, this podcast here is purely fictional, yeah. Nothing's for education. If we talk about any anabolics, it's purely...
We're lying.
Purely, yeah, it's all bullshit. It's all made up. Right.
Before we go to questions, should we discuss bodybuilding stuff or should we do questions first?
Yeah, should we go over the Olympia?
Yeah.
We've had the Olympia, we've had the PCA British Finals. We may as well touch on both of them just for some... So it looks like we're into bodybuilding.
Olympia.
What did you boys think? I thought Samson fluffed it like I said he fucking would. Couldn't fill out. Said told you, didn't I?
We should go back and clip that bit where we said
go
how
back
hard
and
it is to fill a physique that big back up and they're going to fuck it.
Yeah. Exactly as I said, you need someone that has the experience like Cito, like Chad Nichols, like fucking Jaime, that knows how to manage a guy that's when he's all the way down.
I think it's out of order because everyone's like, just come in slice, and it didn't work.
Yeah, but when they say slice, they don't say come in smaller. Like, in my opinion, he was no leaner. Like, I don't think he was... Now, I will caveat that with, I have no doubt if he was peaked properly and full,
he would have
seen a very different look. But I think where he was flat, he didn't look any tighter to me. Maybe a little bit more detail for the back and the glutes and stuff, but that's it.
I think when he does Prague, he look fucking nuts.
Do you remember Milos used to say to everyone, he needs to be bursting full? Everyone laugh at Milos.
And I think they did it right. They got him leaner. They just had no experience. And that's fine. That's not saying, well, they did fuck it. But it's just... I think if they'd had someone in their corner that has worked with several guys that size, and I said this beforehand, didn't I? And they knew how to pull someone back, it would be fine.
But yeah, you're going to need a week of refeeding. Like, I think he fed up for a day, didn't he? But he'll look good in Prague. I think he's something like 14, 15 pounds up, isn't he?
I think he was at the stage where when you eat, you start to drop weight. Do you understand? His body just burnt out.
He just didn't, in my opinion, have the wow factor there. I didn't think he looked that great. If I'm perfectly honest, I think Andrew like stood next to him. Like, Andrew's legs were comparable to him, and that's saying something, you know.
But even a shit Samson still comes fourth in the world. So
mental. One thing I've come to the conclusion of though is I'm no longer going to speak on Derek Lunsford because he just must look mental in real life. Because when I look at pictures, I always just think like, yeah, he looks really cool, but like I don't think he looks like Mr. Olympia. Like, he has so much detail through the front, arms, delts, mental from the back. His legs are odd. He's like 90% adductor, which admittedly they did come up this year. But like when you see him next to Hadi, I just don't understand how he's beating him.
I just don't like the look. I can, from the pictures, taking into account that I presume, like what you say, he just looks terrible on pictures. To be honest, a lot of the pictures I saw, they all didn't look great in terms of the live stream and stuff. But I think he obviously must look nuts in real life. But even taking that...
No. Listen, everyone got the same photo on everyone.
I don't like his structure. I don't like his look. When I look at him, I'm like, there's just nothing impressive about that. Do you know, when I look at bodybuilders that I like from this day and age, from that day and age, I just look and I'm like, it doesn't flow right. It doesn't sit right. It doesn't fucking look.
Well, he's no Lee Priest, is he?
I just think whether it's Keon, whether it's Samson, whether it's Lee Priest, whether it's fucking Ronnie Coleman, whoever it is, I look at all those physiques and I'm like, yeah, like Jay's waist was reasonably blocky, but you could see the X frame. Like, I look at all of those and I'm like, wow. And I just look at Derek and I'm like, meh.
He looks like, I mentioned this before, he just looks like he's got a very drug-infused physique to me. Like, it looks very inflated. Like, it doesn't look hard. It's not grainy. And in my opinion, if he didn't have a vacuum, he would just look like a much more under-muscled Nick Walker. Because he hasn't got a small waist. He's got a big waist. He's most muscular. Like, he doesn't look good. It's just his ability to pause a vacuum just makes his front double look wild and his front relax. I'll tell you who was super impressive. That Antonio Burton. Bro, that dude looks like a fucking mutant, mate. When he walks around, he's just muscle and muscle, just round, 3D muscles hanging off his body.
I think Sass got overlooked a lot. I think Sass was a lot better than his placing.
I agree.
Who else looked really good?
Andrew Jack looked mental. He looked crazy good.
I actually think Martin Fitzwater was mega. He's fucking absolutely amazing. So good.
I think he's another person that must look wild in real life because, you know, his Instagram photos are bonkers. But, like, when he's up there, it just doesn't translate for me, like when he's in a lineup. But I'm assuming, obviously, we know he always plays as well. I think he loses detail in photos, but I should imagine in real life he looks absolutely fucking off his tits.
But, bro, the best thing about him is he doesn't have any body parts that are weak.
No.
That's why he probably doesn't look bonkers, because nothing is.
And he's young as well, man. He's got so much time. Like, I hope he don't rush it. Like, if he can just inch on like 5 pounds a year, like, give him 2 years, mate. He'll be smoking people. Everyone.
He looked really good. That Iranian guy who just came the last minute, he looked sick.
Do you reckon? I thought he looked really underwhelming.
Bro, for someone who's come last minute into the country,
Yeah.
it's pretty fucking good.
What about me off the guy?
Tabani.
Yeah.
I
think he didn't look as good as he normally does for the reasons like what Riz said. But I tell you what, I can't remember what podcast I watched, but they made a really good point. I don't think Milos is normally at his shows. And what they were saying is they wonder if Milos knows what works for him, knows how to bring him in great, so they just do the job whether he's in there in person or not. Because he's finally got to the Olympia and it's a next level up and he's in person, has he then changed what they normally do to either try and get a better look, or is it because he's in person and you know what other people's opinions at you? Because I'm the same. When I'm there at a show, other people are saying stuff and you start second guessing yourself. Whereas if you're just, you know what works, you're at home, you've got your data, did you know there's no one giving their opinions? The client's not giving you their opinions. There's no stress there. Sometimes that can impact your looks. I thought they were interesting points.
I did hear Milos speak on a podcast, and I think he didn't say it, but obviously every year he's been failed for a visa. And I think this year was the year he kind of tools down a little bit. He was a bit like he was lean, but he was kind of like just cruising along type thing. And I think then he had to fly out within 24 hours notice. So I don't think he was
ready to go
in the position. Yeah, he wasn't in the position they wanted him to be in to fly over type thing.
And you can't imagine him being, after being rejected, 4 times, he's not going to be sat there 110% balls deep in it in the hope that for the 5th time he's been knocked back, he finally gets the go ahead.
Yeah, and traveling from Coventry to fucking London, stressful enough. Imagine that big long flight trying to hold a peak.
Yeah. Well, and like I said, I can't imagine they've had it all mapped out to travel either. Does that make sense? Like, I'm about 7 days just for a fucking show in this country. If you had someone flying, you'd have it all mapped out from fucking 2 weeks in advance, wouldn't you? Poor fuckers had to go last minute.
I think he looked mad though. Sean Cleary looked mental.
Wild. Absolutely nuts. But compared to last year when they put those comparison pictures up, like a different human.
Watched John Jewett's video on his YouTube about his peak and what they did different. It's very interesting.
What did they do different?
Just how he had him do way less hard cardio, because Sean lives in, is it Texas, so it's quite hot apparently. Pull down a lot of stress like that. Yeah, just loads of little changes like that. Basically gone for more of a steppy approach.
It looked to me like he just had loads of tissue work done. I know it sounds really silly, but like his like back lat spread in last year, like he couldn't open it really. It looked odd, but like this year his lats were flaring, his quads were sweeping. He just looked and
there wasn't
wide.
I thought Keon was going to be leaping ahead of everybody. It was really close between them. I thought closer than I expected anyway.
Yeah, I think Keon's going to have a trouble in the next year or two. That midsection of his that is not. It's getting worse and worse and worse. I know he hides the ab and fly with that side crunch down shot, but it's getting to the point now where he can't hide that kind of laceration or whatever it is in the middle of his abs. I think it's going to start hurting him soon.
That's a hernia, right?
No, it's a genetic thing. It's Ronnie Coleman had it as well. It's basically where like the transverse abdominis over time, it kind of like the abs just move outwards. It's quite a common.
No, but didn't Fahid get that as well? He had it stitched up.
No, he had an actual hernia issue, didn't he?
Yeah.
But Keon's doing Prague, isn't he?
Yeah, it'd be good to see.
It's going to be a nutty show.
It's not far, that is it either? Prague from here.
No, Holly's doing it. One of my clients is doing it. I was going to go, but I'm moving out, so I can't.
Yeah, me, Dee, and Daisy are going to go next week.
Hell fucking yeah! Give me some peace and quiet, mate. Can you take my kid as well so I can get a night's sleep?
The British finals.
It was a very good show.
Congratulations, Billy.
Thank you, gents. There was some wicked classes there. The quality of in every class that I saw,
Mental.
I thought was fantastic.
What we're talking, PCA or Two Bros?
PCA.
Two Bros was a fucking shit show, mate. God knows what the fuck was going on there.
Bro, Josh Law is a motherfucking monster, yeah?
Yeah.
I felt so like I know Josh, and like he's just one of those guys that like will never blow smoke up his own ass. He just works like a dog. He loves it. Like he lives for every moment of this. Like just to suffer, just lives for it. And I saw him in the JP gym about a week before at that show. And he was there to be on his own, so nobody talked to him. He had his headphones in. Like, I didn't want to talk to him. I think he just wanted me to leave him the fuck alone. But for him to get robbed by that after like doing so many shows is just an absolute piss take. Like it just doesn't make any sense.
You have to see the man in the person, bro. He's a fucking unit, bro.
It's just blocks of muscle, mate. Just muscle on muscle.
I'm glad he came across the PCA and got the result on the Sunday to balance it out a bit.
Yeah.
I think Josh Law is one of these guys, people don't understand till you put him next to other people. How he's just dense.
Mate, imagine training with a cunt, mate. I'm training with him, that Loz kid in Rich. I just feel like a fucking child next to him. It's just, what am I here?
But everyone else is like a little brick, and Josh Law's like a motherfucking breeze block, yeah?
He looked great in the pro lineup, didn't he, Riz, as well? He did well in the lineup.
Yeah, he won some money. I think he won £1,000 in the PCA Pro Show. Come third, I think.
Yeah, him, Jamie, the Two Bros, obviously sponsor Sam.
Who's Jamie?
Jamie Harrison.
Jimmy Harrison. Yeah.
All mega lads. I wish they would have got it, but it is what it is. That's bodybuilding for you, isn't it?
Yeah, the whole Sam Corio thing was weird, though. Like, I had a few people there that said that it just didn't make any sense. Like, he just didn't get looking. Odd.
I've had people come up to me, bro, who don't even know Sam. So asking me what you think, and I went, bro, listen, he's my sponsor. I'm always going to be biased. I've just learned not to say anything no more. There's no point.
There's no decent pictures either, so it's impossible to judge and fucking have your opinion unless you were there, isn't it?
Yeah.
I do not appreciate a physique. There were some weird calls at the PCA. I'm never going to agree with all of it. To me, bodybuilding should have a silhouette. You see guys on stage literally built like a fucking like a box.
The Masters Pro Show where fucking Neil, what's his name?
Not even just that, bro. It's not even that. It's just across
What's
many
Welsh
different.
people that Martin Preps now, the Welsh guy.
Yeah,
Neil Arms.
Yeah,
Neil,
right. He looked nuts, right? And he came second. The guy that came first, fucking terrible. Like no offense, but when you put him next to him, he had a wide waist. He didn't floor the same. I was stood miles away. And when I saw them, I literally walked all the way at the front because I thought, I must be looking at this kid wrong here. Fucking terrible. Martin was flabbergasted, bless him. Martin was like, what is going on?
And Neil in real life,
Yeah.
that's fucking green, mate. Like I said to you at that show I watched him at.
He was harder. His midsection was lovely and tight. He flowed well. He posed well. This guy, it was just... And like I say, I walked all of the way to the front of the stage to see what was going on because I was looking and I was like, nah. Do you know when you just can't, you're not sure what's going on?
Yeah.
And Martin looked at me and he went, I can't believe my eyes. And I was like, mate, that's why I've walked all the way over here because I don't know what's going on. Fucking nuts.
Yeah, but you know what it is though, man? Look, I'm not saying that class, yeah? Across multiple classes. I know in classic they obviously mark the silhouette and stuff, but it's like in a lot of classes they're just marking like overall size, and it's not what bodybuilding should be like.
Wait, what are you speaking of? Which class? Come on, spill the
No,
fucking
I'm
juice,
saying
man.
across loads of classes, a very blocky look should never really win.
Yeah.
I agree.
A very blocky, ugly look should never win.
I agree.
A guy who is 5 kilos smaller, but has a way better silhouette, way better flow, way better shoulder to quad to waist to bicep ratio. The ratios matter.
Some of those classic classes, mine were fucking mental. Like you want to talk about top tier quality, like just ridiculous, like deep, 7-8 man deep. At any other show would Wick come first?
Oh mate, there was I think in Mawson's class there was like 18 or 19 of them.
All sick.
Mawson's class. That guy who won that class
is good.
Is retardedly good, like silly good. Like he's clean, bubbly, detailed physique. Your client looks awesome again though. Yeah.
Mawson looked great considering he hasn't even been competing 12 months yet. To come third at the British, he only did his first show in November last year, and he came off and he was like, "I've looked at some pictures and I'm not sure if I was hard enough for flow." I went, mate. Just look at all of these pictures. I said you could not have looked any better. I said, what you have to bear in mind is the people you're competing against have been at this a long time. This is the British finals, not the first time we showed that you won last year. I said, to come third at the British finals in a class of 19 athletes of this level is insane. I said, you won the overall for your first ever show. You only kept me 14 weeks out when I asked to want to do a show, and you'd only ever taken a Miller test and half of equipoise before, and that's all you ran for the prep. I said, like, you've had a 6-month off season and you've just come third. This is like the biggest win anybody's fucking heard of almost. I said, like, you have to get some sort of real life fucking perception of what's going on.
He needs a big fat off season, that bastard. Like, because obviously he's got such a clean, pretty, unabused physique. Well, he just needs to get heavy.
When he wants to do two bros, it's because of his background and his family. I ended up having a discussion with his mum and his auntie about whether he should still keep competing. And honestly, right, I was like, and his mum was like, no, he's too obsessed. His auntie was like, he needs to keep going. I was like, listen, my honest opinion is it would be a cardinal sin. It would be the biggest shame if he didn't. Because trust me on this, there are very few people that have his shape and his genetics.
He has, yeah.
He has pro caliber delts. He has a pro caliber structure. And then afterwards, one of the judges came over and literally said to him in front of his family, you are the most classically shaped guy we've seen all day. Like, and I said, to be blessed with that, to have done this well in 12 months, it would be a real shame not to. But obviously, family is family, and he's not much younger than me, you see. So he's not young. So, and I was like, but
I thought he was really young. I thought he was young.
No, how old did he tell me he was?
He's not got miles on the rig though, has he?
No, like I say, he's never been. I mean, he's been training forever, obviously. But he,
to be fair, I only say that because he's always hanging around young people. He's like a little gang of gym mates, really quite young. It seems to me.
Bro,
he's 38, 39 now.
Bro, I went and spoke to him. I went, listen, bro, are you same like background as me? He goes, yeah. I goes, bro, listen, you'll be sound. I goes, carry on. Give it 2-3 months. I'll forget about it. Just keep doing your thing, bro. You'll be sweet, mate.
He's just got he's got like those. He's got really small joints, and I don't mean this horribly. He hasn't got a massive amount of muscle, but it already bellows off his body. Like, it's already round off his body. His hams, quads are like, it all bows out of his body nicely. He just needs 5-10 pounds of it.
Well, mate, guess what? If he goes into the two bros, we think he's got 10 kilo to fill a cap. Imagine him a 5 kilo one, never mind 10. I said to him, listen, if that's how much you've got to still beat the cap, I said, we put 5 kilos on you. And I said, anybody will struggle to touch you. I said, you get anywhere near 10 kilos on your frame and you will be a pro. It's as simple as that.
Game over.
Bro, you put 2.5 kilos on that frame. Are you
That's it. That's it.
I want to see Alexander. I want to see him go to two bros and fuck shit up. Because to me, he's the pinnacle of what a pro classic physique is. Like, everything about the way he looks, the way he poses.
Let's because he's my boy and he's obviously his client. I think we should critique the physique. I think he needs bigger arms. He needs better arms in the side shots.
He needs more hamstrings in the side leg. And then he could do with a touch bigger arms, just to balance off the fact that his front double is so impressive and his waist is so small.
His limbs are long.
His lats flow so well and his limbs are long. And like I said, with everything, you can always do with a little bit of more everywhere. However, I think if he rocked into a two bros pro qualifier this weekend, I think he would be pushing for.
He's there. I think he's there. I don't think he's missing anything enough to not be in that conversation in any way, shape, or form.
He's not been. There is no more body fat to come off him. The peak was so easy, so smooth. We just sealed him in. I'd made Riz tell me everything they did last time because that peak was so good. I made Kieran tell me everything they did. And then I just made notes on what was important to not do. So he sweats a lot, right? And he's always holding a bit of water. So I kept a little bit of Dosage in on the morning of the show. And then what we did is I'd impose between every meal and every hour as we went. And then as soon as he started to sweat, I was like, right, no more fluid now, no more food. So we got four smaller fields in by about 3 o'clock. And then I was just, right, we're going to do 1 round of pausing every hour. And there was no sweating. And he just kept getting a little bit dry and a little bit, because we took a quarter of a Dosage at like 6, 7 o'clock in the morning. So by 3 o'clock, it's more or less left the system. Do you know what I mean? So we knew then that nothing was coming out. He was pissing about 200 ml of fluid every time he pissed. So in the morning, I was putting 500 ml in with meals to replace the 200 he was pissing and keeping him topped up.
A bit through.
And then we just did barely anything until pre-stage and he had a bit of fluid. He was like, he didn't even pump up. I was like, listen, every time you pause, you look nuts. Just go and crack on.
I told you before with him, you just have to pose And do you know that thing he does with headphones? D goes, Riz, I rate how he sits there with headphones. I go, listen, he learned that from me. I wish it's something that I could just master. Put your headphones on. And
Just can't do that shit.
Put your headphones on and lie the fuck down.
Yeah. Mate, he was asleep most of the show that afternoon. And I tell you what else he did. He was like, Hitty, what time do you think I should come? Because I don't have to register till half 2. I said, don't come till half 2. So he didn't leave his house till 12 o'clock. So, he wasn't sat at the show pausing for people, stressed out, listening. Mate, walked up at 3 o'clock, done a round for me. I said, go and lay down in the corner. He didn't move for an hour. Pause again, lay back down. We just did that. Put his tan out at 5 o'clock. Kicked ass at 6.
He's got a really good chest. Like, his chest development is very rare. From the top to the bottom, it's out like 3D. Does that make sense? It's perfectly flat. It's like a plate.
With him, yeah, the thing is, he exposes so many people on stage just with the detail.
Yeah.
And even if someone's got bigger quads, his detail makes his quads look bigger.
Once we put the tan on, just look at this. See if you can see it.
No, it's not going to focus.
There.
There we go. To be fair, though, he brought his legs up a lot from that last showing. But he's got that skin tone as well, where that dream tan just sits so fucking nice on it and the light end. Sick.
But like you say, a little bit more leg still needed, a little bit more side leg. Like there's always, doesn't matter who you are, does it? We just talked about fucking Samson and that. There's always more, but I do think, and like you say, in terms of Two Bros, classic, when you look at the guys that do well there, I think he's especially at the amateur show, I think he's there. Yeah. And he's going to go and do the Worlds. And then that's sort of like PCA wrapped up, you've accomplished that level. He's not in a rush because Riz had said this. He said, Riz told me not to rush, and I'm big on that. And I was like, well, me too. He says, I would like to go and do the Worlds. There's money to be won. He says, and then that's like, well, I've done everything in PCA now. Then I step across the Two Bros. And that is the logical way to be doing it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%.
I didn't gas him all prep because I thought, you know what? He's my boy, but he's not my client no more. So I thought, I'm going to sit back and I'm just going to watch. I literally waited to the morning of the show to gas him up, and I thought, I'll give it to him today because he looks sick. And I'm not, he even come to my house, I never complimented him. I thought, nope. There's no need.
Because we all see it, doesn't matter what level it's at. Too many people telling you you're fucking great and you look fucking superb, and your head just goes a little bit.
I think once he brings up them slightly weaker body parts, call it, he'll be unstoppable.
I really liked his confidence when he was there at the back of the stage. He was not intentional. He wasn't doing, but he knew. Like, he was just stood there, and they called third out, and you just see it in his face. He was like, "I'm gonna smoke you, motherfucker."
Everybody else knew as well. Everybody else knew.
He's not a cocky individual.
No.
He's a lovely.
His confidence, cockiness is not the same as confidence. He was confident.
But everybody on that stage already knew what was happening. They just moved him in the middle and they just left him.
I remember we won that first overall, yeah. Together, that was my first overall and my first pro card ever with him, yeah. And he picked the sword up and I goes to him, put the fucking sword down, humble yourself right now, yeah.
I'd be hitting motherfuckers with that everywhere outside.
Listen, I was humble as fuck until I got into the car and I goes, yeah, everyone got smoked. Everyone got smoked.
Right. Bodybuilding shit done? Questions?
I've got quite a lot. There's actually some.
We'll just do one each. We'll just fire through quickly, one each. Right. Signs. What to assess to determine if cycle escalation is needed. All right. What are you looking for? What signs are you looking for to determine if you need to increase your drug dose?
Honestly, I do mine like cyclical, if that makes sense. It might not be scientific, but I'll either move food or drugs, depending on kind of like what I'm seeing in the physique, if that makes sense.
Or move both.
Yeah, I very rarely move both, if I'm honest. It's very rare I'll put food and drugs up at the same time. I want to do one or the other to see kind of what the effects are of that. But I often do take in turns. Does that make sense? It'll go food, then drugs, food, then drugs, and then maybe I'll start moving output down. But it's hard to explain because the majority of it's on look. Like, it depends how low I start the cycle, where they've been before, what their bloods look like, how healthy they are, how they're training, and if I can think I can squeeze a little bit more from a specific compound or a specific compound that will give X look or X result, you know?
I think the main thing is how is progress in the gym. That is the main driver in my head right now, these past few months, is how is gym? How's training in the gym? And that dictates everything, because then you're putting in more food. With more food, we technically require more anabolic, in essence. You know what I mean? It's
one twofold thing. Performance first. If you've been at a bit of a standpoint for a while with gym performance and you're bang in the middle of a cycle in an off season, then it's time to maybe up the dose. Secondly, if we're making food increases and strength's going up, but I feel that we're getting softer too quick. So it looks like we've lost that. Steroids allow you to put more muscle on. So say if you gain a pound, actually 66% of that might be fat and 33% might be muscle, as an example. Take steroids, it might be a 50-50 split, it might even be 60-40. So, and I think you get to a level with a dose where all of a sudden you're like, we've bumped through twice here and we just look noticeably softer. At that stage, I would then increase the anabolic load again and hope I can swing that round where it'll, and your performance is probably already going up, the scale's moving up. So this the cycle load, ideally, it increases anabolism, it increases nutrient partitioning, it'll increase your metabolic rate. It should hopefully bring that composition back, or at least swing the ratio around so the fat to muscle gain is a bit more equal. So those are the two main things for me.
I think, Dec, when you say you'd reduce output, yeah, I actually think I've started to become a big, strong believer. I actually think output should remain the same throughout the whole entire process, because when if you're, let's say your output's at 10k steps, just to make it easier, my appetite's up. I'm in a good spot. I'm getting hungry. My gym performance drops off. I then decrease my output to increase my food. I could then potentially look into dropping off my appetite.
But you got to remember, I'm also not gay. And when I say output, I don't just mean steps. What I normally mean is I'll pull training volume down. That's where my output normally comes from. So what I often do is, like, a lot of my plans are quite volume heavy. Everyone knows that I do a fair bit of volume. When we get into that, let's call it that sweet spot, if that makes sense, where I'm starting to think, where's the next best change? I'll often start pulling the volume down in training so I get more bang for my buck from the food and the drugs, if that makes sense. It improves recovery. I think a lot of us at times overtrain to a degree, and I think you can manage it that way. But I'm also often talking about when you're coming out of a diet, potentially I'll keep cardio in for a long period of time. So I agree with you. I think steps should stay consistent at all times, or output from NEAT should stay consistent. But when I say output, it's normally that kind of cardio or training volume specifically.
You know, when it comes to training volume, I think a big one for myself and with my clients now, I don't really like to work in that really high rep range at all. Because I think when you start to get stronger and you try and do a 15 rep on a T-bar, it's a little bit silly. And you start to get very, very CNS tired, man.
Yeah, I think there's like a line, like you said, when you're getting stronger, you know, when you feel that moment in the gym where you're getting strong, I think that's where I start managing my volume down a little bit for recovery purposes in risk of injury ultimately.
Volume like I'll still the set.
Yeah, 100%.
Next question from someone else.
These are very easy to answer. What aspects of the process, and let me start off the bottom, what's the biggest lesson you've taken from this year so far? That's from Mark Hodson.
Oh, mine is, apparently, if you don't post on Instagram, people think you stop going to the gym. The amount of DMs I got because I put a picture up, I was like, oh, mate, how long do you take off training? You look great. What are you fucking talking about? I didn't stop training, you weird bastards. I didn't stop posting shit on Instagram all the time.
Yeah,
it's mental. It's mental.
Mine would be having a puppy is harder than I expected.
Yes, hard work, mate.
Biggest lesson taken this year so far? Do not talk in absolutes.
Yeah, I've been saying that for a long time. Anybody that speaks in absolutes is a fucking idiot, especially in bodybuilding. Bodybuilding is the one thing where there are no absolutes.
There are often people that actually aren't confident in what they're saying as well when they speak in absolutes, because they're not willing to open dialogue or debate.
Yeah, there are no absolutes in bodybuilding. I've been saying that for a long time. You will never, ever, ever, you will not find a post from me or anything where I have said, this is the best or this is the only way. And I instantly think you're foolish for anybody that says it, because anybody that reads into the literature, anybody that's done this for a period of time knows that there are so many ways to do every part of this. It's insane.
Yeah, one thing. Do you lot still drink fizzy drinks?
Yeah. Without fail.
No.
I have one Monster a day, every day without fail.
You're a dirty bastard, you are.
I love that shit. It's like my coffee.
I've not had a sugar-free like energy drink or Coke or anything for like 7 months.
Come on,
but why would I remove it? If I'm happy with my progress in what I'm doing, why would I change it?
I just don't have fizzy drinks because they instantly upset my stomach. That's it. And I've never been a real big fizzy drinker, to be honest. Like, don't get me wrong, if I'm out on a night out, I'm definitely getting a Jaeger bomb with Red Bull and fizzy stuff. And if I'm on a long drive and I need caffeine, I'll go for a Monster. I won't go for a coffee. I don't like to drink hot drinks.
I never ever drank as many fizzy drinks until I married Dee. I will buy fucking cases. Do you get from like Costco, the cases?
Yeah.
And eventually I went, fuck this, you're fucking up my teeth. Now I drink that kombucha.
Stop it, you two.
Mate, you're so fucking bougie, aren't you?
No, I seen Chris talk about it, so I bought it. and that is actually fizzy. So,
do you feel like it's helping?
I drink like 100 ml before bed, bro, with my last meal. Yeah, it just tastes nice, and
No, Nala.
it's supposed to be like, what is it? What's it called, man?
It's live bacteria.
Probiotics.
Yeah, probiotic live bacteria
Yeah.
basically for your gut. Yeah. I mean, I drink so much fluid in the day from water and squash that like I don't really have room for fizzy drinks. I have a Monster which is allocated between like 10 and 12 every day.
Yeah.
But then obviously I'm guzzling fluid all day, man. I'm just a thirsty person. Yeah.
I drink loads. I drink like at one point I think I was doing 9 liters a day. You know that?
Yeah.
I had to say to myself, "What the fuck am I doing?"
I wouldn't be surprised if I do that, Riz. Like it's just because I just enjoy drinking. I'm weird.
Yeah, I could
Yeah.
drink all the time.
Yeah.
What aspects of the process do you think change the bigger you get? Blood pressure.
Yeah. Your food bill and your steroid bill.
The amount of times you visit Tesco. Yeah.
Fact.
I get vexed going to Tesco. I'm like, D, have we got pineapple? No. I get there. Oh, by the way, while you're there, can you get some sourdough, some eggs, some fairy liquid?
Me and my mates reckon that you can't go to Tesco and spend anything less than 50 quid in this day and age.
You
The
can't.
minimum
Fact.
no matter what you do.
Do you think Nova Rapid is needed pre and post workout for maximum benefit? Absolutely not.
Nothing's needed. Stop talking in fucking absolutes, you spastic. I don't even care who you are, how big you are. We've just said that.
That
there has come from Don Valley. You're just gonna get yourself.
Don, we can throw these hands, bro. I don't care. I'll come straight to your door.
No, he's joking. It's Carl Bacon's asked that. No, I don't really like using Rapid much, to be honest.
There's no doubt about it. Scientifically, it makes sense if you think about it to take something that increases your body's ability to uptake nutrients during a workout. There's just no, it's anti-catabolic and it's anabolic. So there's a big sense. There's also no doubt about it. The bodybuilding world changed in terms of muscle mass when insulin and growth hormone became available. So is it a must? No. And it depends on your reaction. I use it with a fair few clients regularly. For me personally, because I'm so insulin sensitive, if I take it, it just fucks up with my day. I mean, everybody knows I hypo just from fucking doing anything. So Rapid, I like Lantis for people because it's much more steady. I think using Lantis and Rapid is definitely a way to get huge. And like I say, I use it with a lot of clients, but it's just, for me individually, it makes my sessions and my post-workout food very hard to regulate, and it ends up causing me hypos, and sometimes it can throw my session off a bit. But again, if one of my clients is like, I want to put on as much muscle as possible, then we will be using insulin pre and post at some point.
I use it daily, pre and post.
I like using it post. If I had a choice,
I agree.
I'd much rather use it post.
Yeah.
When I use it pre, and you start training, you start to swell the fuck up here, and then you 25 pisses in the gym, it becomes very annoying.
The annoying thing is it's really hard as well. Like it's just one inconsistency, and you don't go hypo, but you get that like weird feeling in the gym, and it's uncomfortable. Like your blood glucose is just a little bit low, but you got enough food to cover you. You know that, but you just feel a bit weird. That's the bit I don't like.
I should be taking some at the moment to get food, and I'm taking 125 grams of carbs around training. So I would argue actually, if I explained what I was doing to anybody else, I'd be like, "You fucking stupid for not taking that." But I know also that how easily my body uptakes glucose. I don't. If I had to sit down when we did this, because this is straight after my leg session, and have some pancakes dry, because if I didn't, I would have hypoed within 30 minutes, and I'll probably hypo in the next half an hour. So
what you weighing?
Sorry?
What you weigh?
I was 105 kilo mid last week, but I was 103 kilo yesterday because I missed fucking 10 meals at the weekend and couldn't catch
up. 103 kilos.
105 kilos before the weekend. What are you at now?
I'm at 94, I think.
No, you sent me your chat. I did what line for you.
What am I then?
90.
Not yet. That's without my chain off, so that's 90 kilo.
I'm literally 14 kilos heavier than Riz, and we're the same height.
You listen to me, you big,
right, bro.
Big fucker.
We're the same height. I'm just letting you know, mate.
I could be. Hilly knows I could be 100 kilo by next week.
Do it then, mouse. Who you scared of?
I don't want to.
I'll send Don Valley in your dreams, mate. You just crawl up your stairs and say, "Eat food."
Currently, I've got my toolbox around my waist here, the little tool bag. I'm not utilizing all the cards, okay?
But Hilly is right there. Like, I only put Rapid in recently, and like my pre-workout meal is 150 gram of carbs. I'm still only doing 5 IUs of Rapid. Does that make sense? Like I never scale it to the maximum potential, but it's just like it's just a help when my food gets really high.
Yeah. And I just think, again, everybody knows I'm not a big fan of being like, well, if your blood glucose is high, you need Lantus. If your food isn't, it is a nutrient partitioner. It is a nutrient driver. We have the ability to take drugs and increase our body's ability to partition nutrients. So,
hey, look, you might see Daisy boobs now. Boring.
All right, Daisy.
So if there is a
Before we
time,
need a nip slip.
if there's a time that you can do that and you have the food to do it, then it's like putting a turbo on a car, in my opinion. It's just making everything a bit more efficient. I've got one. Is massage work really needed? And if so, is there a time it is more important, i.e. prep or off season?
All year round, bro.
I do believe therapy work is of vital importance. Having spent, 3 or 4 years at university studying that shit, and we're going through periods of not getting it and getting it, it makes the difference. And you've just got to think about it logically. When you are training, your muscles are becoming tighter and more pumped. So you are putting more tension and stress through your tendons and joints. Then you are lifting a shit ton of weight, putting more stress through your tendons and joints. You are taking insulin, like we just spoke about. You are taking steroids. All of these drugs increase your body's ability to hold glycogen, hold water, and be bigger and more pumped all day, which means that your tendons are under more stress and more strain all fucking day. So therefore, you are much more inclined to run into injuries and issues all fucking day. So it just makes logical sense to keep them as supple and as flexible and as therapied as possible. And I say all of this.
I'll say as well.
I say all of this, and I am absolutely shit at being regular with my therapy work, but I certainly should be, and I feel better when I am.
I go every Thursday or every Sunday now.
Even like negating the injury side of it, go get your legs done and just tell me how your leg session is next week. The difference in pump and contraction is just a different world.
And your soreness will be higher for the next 3 or 4 weeks because you are able to utilize the contractile tissue better.
I will say though, I used to be like, just fuck me up. Now I don't like that. I don't like the ones that are a bit OTT. Like it makes me feel extremely lethargic. It really puts me back a bit. And I also have a theory that when I was frequently getting treatment and I was shooting for that like aggressiveness, if that makes sense, I'd hurt myself more often. But I think if you can get like a good masseuse or a therapist that knows where that line is to kind of just like, I don't know, refresh the muscle rather than batter it, I think that's what you want.
So the problem with a lot of therapists is, and it's a customer problem as well. If you're into sport, it's in your head that it should hurt. And it's in the therapist's head that you should feel as if they fucking... Some therapists I've been to, it's just a game to see what your pain tolerance is. And they also feel that they should be doing that so that the client feels, they go away and they're like, fucking hell, he's classing me, battered me, she battered me, yada, yada, yada. When it isn't. It should be painful, yes. And you should know that you've had it done the next day to a point. But it shouldn't be, I'm about to tap out for fuck's sake, this is that painful. I went to see that guy in Benoist that everybody sees, and his whole goal was just to get you to tap out. And it was literally, that was it. And everybody said the same thing. And it was like how they obviously judge his service or whatnot.
I like a good old Thai massage, me.
As
long as you get a happy ending as well at the end, it makes everything better.
The lady that I see in my area, she's very much into the soft tissue work, yeah? She's really good. Even I said to her, now listen, Denise, chill out a little bit, you're hurting me, yeah? And she's calmed down, so that's mega. She's been mega like going. Do you know through? I think some people are better at that soft tissue work, and some people are good at more, getting stuff straight, aligning this to then, so it doesn't really pull. And they're looking at your whole physique, not just your scapula.
Best massages are those ones you get at the pool parties in Ibiza when you're already off your nut, because they just feel fantastic.
Is a good thing for people to get. Yeah, if you keep getting injuries, just change your mattress and change your pillow. To the biggest.
I need to do that big time, mate.
Is EQ as bad as some people say? I'm not gonna go for this. We've been through this one loads. EQ has probably been used more this past year than any other year, and there hasn't been any difference. So yeah.
No.
Whose idea was it to have a puppy and a fucking cat?
Anything to stop the risk of sweating on stage and messing up the tan. Dehydrate.
Make sure you peak yourself right.
Diuretic use as well while you're being piss water. Like you just got to know what you're doing realistically. And if you don't, just don't fuck around with sodium and fluid. Just don't. Just get ready.
Yeah, don't fuck about any of that shit. If you're
sometimes it can be unavoidable if this in certain stages. Like some stages, the way they're set up, they are just mad hot and everybody's sweating. But you should be able to, on show day, run through rounds of posing and not pour out with sweat. If you're sweating when you pause, you're holding water and you need to keep pausing. Like I've got to see a client last year, and he'd obviously been fucking about with his diet. It was like 9 o'clock at night and he was running through pauses. The scale was up and he was sweating within one round. I made him do 6 or 7 rounds of pausing every hour between 9 o'clock and midnight. He woke up the next day 3 kilo down and he wasn't sweating anymore. So it is for me a good indication if you are the day before show, the morning of show, and you instantly start sweating doing 1 or 2 rounds of pausing, you're holding fluid and something's not right.
It depends what your body type as well. Some people sweat more than they piss.
And also, like, cardio rounds are really important. Like building up your cardio of actually posing is a massive thing, because if you're just unfit, you'll be sweating your tits off quickly.
Here's a funny one. Yeah, I was speaking to Matt Tofton. At the Strom booth. Yeah, as you do, just general Tofton shit. Yeah.
Did you sign up to his OnlyFans?
Already part of it. Manager speaking to Tofton. And literally some bloke comes up and he goes, Tofton, you got a problem with me? And I thought, huh? I'm just standing there like just talking to, as you're talking to your boy. And Tofton's like, he's gone, Tofton, you fucking said something about my tan. And Tofton's gone, mate, what you on about? Like, Tofton's the nicest bloke in the world, yeah? And I wouldn't really want to fuck with him because he's hench as well, yeah? And Tofton's like, what you on about? Like, he's just shocked. And I'm like, I was like, yo, bro, you were peeled on stage. Shame about the dream tan. Because the dream tan was too thick.
Yeah.
And next thing you know, he started cussing out Tofton loads. Oh, you fucking said.
Did he?
My tan was fucking shit. And Rick at Strong Sports come over like, bro, what you on about? All Tofton said is, you would win if your tan wasn't that dream tan.
There was a couple of people.
Who was the competitor?
I don't know, bro. The guy was sliced, yeah?
A couple of people walking around, right, they looked green, they had that much dream tan and it was ridiculous. And they were walking around with their clothes off all day with it on. They must have put it on with a fucking creosote roller or something, mate. It was insane.
Mate,
like,
dream tan, just so everyone knows, like, we've mastered it, but dream tan is a fine art. Like, I would not advise caking it on as the base layer as well. Like, get a good base tan on and then use it as like a glaze, basically, like a top coat to give you a bit of shimmer. Like, do not get it, roller paint it on. It doesn't look good. You go very green, and it's a bit of an art getting it right.
If you're using a full tub, you've used too much.
I don't know the bloke. I have no relation to him. I have nothing personally against the bloke. The bloke was absolutely fucking sliced, yeah? But I get what the opinion was. If his dream tan was a little bit less thicker, he probably would have won the class because he was that peeled, yeah? But you see the way I look at it, if someone said to me, or if someone murmured to me, oh, Riz, by the way, if you didn't have that dream tan on, you would have won your class. I would have went, fucking hell, Matt Tofton said I would have won. But now everyone's taking it in a knocking way. People need to understand that's not someone knocking you. It's someone saying, bro, you're sick. Just change your approach to the last bit.
Tofton's not the kind of out.
Rick was like, bro, it's all about perception, Rizzo, isn't it? How you've taken that and how he's taken it. Yeah, of course, but people are just funny, man. Don't compete if you can't handle criticism.
Yeah, I've got one for you. Do we need Primo or Mass for competing, or can EQ replace them both without much difference? It can replace them both. End of.
Of course,
it replace them both. It'll give you a fantastic look. It will be better control than E2.
It's better.
To put this into example, yeah. Neil Arms did this whole entire prep on 300 mgs a test only, and he was granite.
Yeah, absolute nails.
I think that tells you more than enough about drugs. And that's not me bullshitting either.
No, everyone knows he's yeah.
With the shortage of Mass Primo, Mass P could suffice. What's your thought on DHB? I don't like it. Deck don't like it. He likes
it. It's not a suitable replacement. It's not. That's not the correct drug. It's not. It's extremely toxic. It's hard to run for a long period of time. I don't believe it controls estrogen in any way, shape, or form. If anything, it actually made my gyno worse.
I do like it as a drug in a low dose, and I think it works well in some cycles if your body tolerates it. But it has got no relation to Primo or Mass in a contest prep setting. Yes, you can use it as part of your anabolic load in an off season, or in part of your anabolic load in prep. I've done that with people, but it's not replacing anything. It's not controlling estrogen like Dex says. It's not replacing.
It might replace Tren.
Yes,
potentially.
Yeah,
potentially. Yeah, in very small dosages.
I've found 50 mg of Tren Ace and 50 mg of DHB does some very fantastic, interesting stuff in terms of body recomposition.
I just find the pip on the motherfucker is like playing Russian roulette. I'm not fucking with it. My tricep, I pinned it in my rear delt. My rear delt looked massive. I was hitting the side chest, and they rang me like, we might have to rename it to fucking side delt, bro. Fucking hell.
I've got a good one. Starting GH dose for first time, or starting GH for the first time soon. Any advice on brand, dose, timing, and should I run insulin with it? For me, first time use, depending on how advanced you are and how much you want to push it, anywhere from 3 to 5, well, 3 to 6, 3 to 5 IU pre-workout for the first 4 to 6 weeks. Assess the response, assess how you feel. After that, there is no limit to dosage apart from your wallet. I would max your pre-workout dose at 4 to 5 IU. I would put another dose in pre-bed, 3 to 5 IU, and you can do it every day. Growth hormone is a drug where you will get some out of 3 to 5 IU 5 to 7 times a week. The more you take, the more you will get out of it.
And just to put it out there as well, I know a lot of the old school guys say don't use growth hormone until you're going to turn pro. I think that's a load of fucking bullshit, yeah? It brings the least amount of sides, and it's being used in medical studies and in real children.
Now, right now, still.
Yeah, till this day, yeah?
Something to consider is growth hormone allows your body to create new muscle cells over time, right? So why would you not want to use it early doors if funds allow? For like Wiz says, it is medically proved to be safe. It has no toxicity on the body at all. Yes, if
safe.
If you take mad high doses, it can impact insulin resistance, but it creates no toxicity that steroids do, and it allows you to create new muscle cells that then can be made bigger. So it will just make you a bigger version of you, and those muscle cells will stay about forever. Now, the flip side is people seem to respond differently to it. I've taken growth hormone for a long period of time, some pretty high doses. I don't get any sides from it, and I can't see it's done anything miraculous to my physique at all. But I have watched people take it and totally transform from it. So like anything else, it's dose dependent, but it's also genetically response dependent.
I will never ever stop using GH until I stop competing now.
Also, even if it's one of those things, like if you haven't got everything else in order and you're legitimately fucking around and stuff, you're not going to see a benefit to it. Like if you're eating inconsistently day in, day out, training's inconsistent, stuff like that, you're not going to see a benefit. The people who really see the benefit from it, who replicate their days, so they eat the same food, same training, same output, that sort of stuff, because then you see the bump in fullness from it. It's an aesthetic drug ultimately. Like it does give you a much better, fuller, rounder look. It will help mobilize fat. But ultimately, it's not going to be groundbreaking. But I completely agree. If I had a client who had money, I would probably favor putting GH in before secondary compound if they're doing test only.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
GH, test, and Lantus, and keep the total anabolic load low.
This guy's got a phenomenal physique. He's a PCA pro, Dean Nicholson, who asked the question.
Yeah, he's got a bad boy physique.
So some growth hormone mate in your physique will do you fucking wonders.
Add it in.
You are? Yeah, add that shit in.
Best peptides for a bulk. BPC, TB500, keep everything nice. That's my honest opinion.
Don't ask me.
Motzi before the gym.
I've been taking, yeah. I suppose it depends. I don't think people should be running TB and BPC all of the time personally, but it's very useful when you've got niggles, injuries, maybe run it for 4-6 weeks every 3 months. And then I suppose it depends what else you're classing as a peptide. And it comes back down to this. If you take a peptide and it makes you feel better, so if you take Motzi and your energy is better and it allows you to push your food heavier without feeling lethargic, it allows you to increase the energy in your sessions, then take it. L-carnitine, some people think it's a waste of an injection. We're all fans of it. When I take injectable L-carnitine, my energy throughout the gym is better. My cholesterol numbers are better. So I am a fan of L-carnitine because
it's not even a peptide, is it? It's a fucking amino acid.
No, but what I'm saying is that I take that particular supplement because I feel it work in the gym and I see it work on my blood work. So understand what these peptides are supposed to do, are claimed to do, look at the science, try one at a time. Don't put fucking 5 in at once, because then you don't know what's going on. Put it in. If you see a benefit, then it's worth running. If you don't, then it's not. It's no different to fucking anything else in the world. There's no need to overcomplicate it.
Someone's asked it, what is it like using Motzi and Slin? I'm gonna tell you from using them both individually and both at a decent dosage.
Come on then.
They both,
Oh,
in my opinion, give great cognitive function, especially
what the-
in the back end of a prep. Yeah, when you put the MOTC in when you're in prep, you 100% feel that shit come on. When you're tired already, that's when you can really tell when these drugs really work. And you're really digging for that extra 1%, and you're already lean, you're already peeled, every tool's being used. They're a very good combination. Your 4 best overall subs, 4 gear products, and 4 peptides.
Go peptide, rapid, Lantus, growth hormone, and I'll say Slew, because I love the stuff. What was the other one?
Yes.
Test, EQ, Anavar, and I will say Primo for the nitrogen retention side of it. Nothing to do with control of my E2.
What question again, Riz?
Your 4 best overall subs, 4 subs, 4 gear products, 4 peptides. Your
So-
4 favourite.
4 subs: a pre-workout, a protein powder, an omega-3, and creatine, drugs, testosterone, equipoise, oxy, and supergel, peptides, TB500G and BPC, because they're just amazing at injuries, insulin, if that comes under peptide, 2, because it is absolutely outrageous, gives you a boner, gives you a fucking tan, and you can even use it to stem your appetite in a way safer way than you can with fucking GLPs. I don't want to say growth hormone because I don't really, considering the amount of money I spend on it and use, I can't say I've ever physically got much benefit from it, so it wouldn't be a favourite.
My best 4 overall subs: protein, creatine, glutamine, and a heart product. 4 peptides: MOTC, insulin, BPC, and SLU. It's not really peptide, but yeah, whatever. And 4 gear products. That's easy for me: Test, Mast, T3, Winstrol. That's all I need.
Nice.
Nice.
Job's done all year round. 1 second. Once I need to message my wife. She's deployed the chips into the air fryer too early.
Deployed the chip.
D, can you,
Yeah, I
D,
need to
can
eat
you
as well.
please make sure the air fryer is not on too early? You make my chips soggy.
She's deployed the air fryer too quick. These fucking animals, I swear to God, whose idea was this?
D, can you please withdraw the air fryer chips?
Honestly, right, Kai would never give 2 fucks about what I was doing until I got a puppy. And now he wants to be in all the time. He doesn't fuck off like he used to. He used to not see him all day. Now he wants to be in here where she is. And she wants to play with him.
You're his human, mate. He's letting you know.
Fucking nuts, isn't it? Yeah? Dumb and
Would
dumber.
it be best to deploy insulin sooner rather than later? Absolutely fucking yes, mate. Because I have deployed mine too late, and it's just been a little bit of a catch-up.
I suppose it depends who's asking. If you've already got stuff locked on and you know what you're doing, then yes, get it in sooner rather than later. If you're pretty new to this, then don't fuck about with it until you've got your eating sock, because you can.
Well, I think Stephen knows what he's talking about. Would it be best to deploy insulin sooner rather than later in a post-show phase, before fasted blood glucose is up?
I think so, yeah. We would just have that discussion what we would
Yeah.
use insulin for. It's a storage hormone. It's
Yeah.
anabolic, absolutely.
I wouldn't go in at a really high dosage for sure.
No.
If we're talking about post-show, the only thing you've got to worry about is post-show you are more insulin sensitive. So you're going to more likely run into hypos, which is then going to cause you to eat more, and then you are more inclined to store fat if you overeat and fuck it up. So I don't never really use it in the first 4 to 6 weeks unless I have a client with a really weak body part that we want to put a lot of focus on. Then he will be having a high day and he will have some insulin in that high day, because even though he doesn't need the insulin to manage his blood glucose, it will still increase the uptake of amino acids, increase the uptake of glycogen, and also Lantus helps increase IGF levels. So we are creating an additional anabolic environment that's got fuck all to do with blood glucose levels to help that muscle be fueled to perform better, be fueled to grow better, and be fueled to recover better.
Let's answer some of these quick. I need to go and eat. Yeah, you're gonna ruin my bed hygiene, you wankers. Would you best advice vs worst advice? Best advice vs worst advice you've been given or heard someone being given?
I don't really listen to people, man. Like you can't really advise me unless I trust you. Then you're not going to give me shit advice.
But I once got advice after a show from my brother. He said to me, "Oh, bro, you look too small. You'd come in big like Ronnie Coleman." And at that day, I remember I'd never ever listened to any of my brother ever say.
Best advice. Best advice, always make sure you've got enough money in the bank and you don't have to borrow for the people. Worst advice, always make sure you can see your abs in the off season.
Yeah,
And
bullshit to that.
it was the worst advice for me because I was a fat kid. As soon as I gain weight, it goes on my midsection. If you looked at me in a vest and very short shorts, you would presume I was 10% body fat, and a lot of the time. But if you look at my midsection, you'd presume I was 15 or 16. Because everybody used to say it, as soon as I lost my abs, I would stop growing, stop eating my food, and it would fuck with my head. That as stupid as it is, that was one of the main things that fucked most of my growth periods. So that was terrible advice for me. Go, Riz.
I'm telling D to put my sea bass in.
Okay, now.
Would you taper direct protein down in off season as trace amounts increase from carbs?
No.
Only time I would ever reduce protein is if we're getting digestive issues.
You'd be pulling from direct protein, right?
Yes.
Yeah. I'm trying to logically think.
I wouldn't. I wouldn't change protein.
No,
Protein
but
stays
if
stagnant.
if your carbs were very high and you're pulling through an extra 100 grams of protein from carbs, indirect.
I still wouldn't.
If it was causing you stomach issues.
If it was causing me stomach issues, I would. But
Yeah.
if in an off season you're upping food at a certain point, not for macros, for simply calories to grow. So if I was upping carbs and reducing protein, I wouldn't be upping my fucking calories anyway, would I? So it would just be offsetting the increase.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Thoughts on making gains without doing traditional push up / pull back? Thoughts on making gains without doing the traditional bulk and cut?
If you're happy to be patient and you're not in a rush and you're not trying to be the biggest version of you possible, then it's a sensible way to do things. You know, if you're a lifestyle client, I have some people that do modeling and whatnot, that they need to stay lean year round. So then you just take your time and you have to accept that you will gain less muscle, but you will look great all year round. So
if you want to leave progress on the table, then please do it slowly. This is coming from a female, but I just think for a lot of females, they have to push up quite hard.
Correct.
And they do have to get quite out of shape. You
My
know what I mean?
opinion changes with females to a point because I also know that mentally it can be very difficult for females getting soft in the off season. Having spent a decade working with people with eating disorders, over a decade, I know the impact that getting too soft in an off season can for females. So I do prefer to try and keep females in not so much a better body composition, but a body composition that they are more comfortable with themselves, because it's different for everybody. That still doesn't mean being slow with progress, just because I don't think you should be worried about progress and increasing food. I just think for me, with clients, I'm more mindful of females' body composition and how they feel about it. Because
if they're sound with it and they're like, I don't care.
That's it. And it's very much the same for boys. But the easiest example I give is, if a lad gets massive, right, and a bit soft, everybody just goes, fucking hell, mate, you look jacked in that T-shirt, fucking class, you know, yeah. If a bird gets a little bit too soft, she doesn't want to go out, people might not make nice comments. Like, it just affects them differently, in my experience. So I'm a bit more mindful with female clients of, how are you feeling? Are you still okay? You know, that, and I just think everybody should be mindful of how things affect them.
Let's answer this one. We'll all choose one each. Best 4-day training split.
Push, pull, arms, legs.
Yeah, push, pull, legs, arms.
I was going to say the exact same thing. How long after the last meal should I wait to take my GH? I literally eat my last meal, bang my GH, and go straight to bed.
Yeah, I think the same. Same as me.
Sometimes I even jab it before I eat.
Yeah, me, just so I ain't got to do an injection before bed.
Yeah.
You need to go out for a wee, darling. Come on,
Would
Kai.
BPC and 157 help with my really sore knees after leg day? No, my man, you need to change your stance, or you need to change your...
And wear tight leggings and get some massage.
Change your movement pattern, bro.
Okay, get off my seat now, son. Get down.
Ever used modafinil pre-workout?
Yes.
Times.
Well, not specifically pre-workout, but I've been taking modafinil 3 or 4 days of the week for probably the last 6 or 7 years. Yeah, maybe not 10 years, but close. So it would have been active when I was training.
Yeah. I've had some bad boy sessions on modafinil.
But I've never specifically taken it for a pre-workout boost, actually, no. Man's always work-focused.
I used to use Moxie in the morning, go to the gym about 3 hours later. Sorry, modafinil in the morning. Thoughts on tesofensine? Is that fake test booster?
I don't know what that is.
God knows, but if it's... I'm not too sure, bro. We're not going to answer
You don't
that
know.
one. Right, let's wrap up today. I'm very, very tired.
Yeah, we've done an hour and 5 minutes, an hour and 10 minutes. We've got some good questions there.
You guys like, comment, subscribe, buy all the products that Engineered.
Yes. Deck 10.
Buy everything, even if you don't need it. I'm joking.
Deck 10. Deck 10.
Before you buy anything, make sure you buy your food, your PEDs, your Slin.
And your cocaine for the weekend.
Your cocaine for the weekend.
Yeah, and all of that. And you pay your mortgage, you pay your bills, and you buy your missus a cheap meal, and then after that, buy supplements, yeah?
Ignore what Riz said.
Hormone became available. So is it a must? No. And it depends on your reaction. I use it with a fair few clients regularly. For me personally, because I'm so insulin sensitive, if I take it, it just fucks up with my day. Everybody knows I hypo just from fucking doing anything. Rapid, I like Lantus for people because it's much more steady. I think using Lantus and Rapid is definitely a way to get huge. And like I said, I use it with a lot of clients, but it's just, for me individually, it makes my sessions and my post-workout food very hard to regulate, and it ends up causing me hypos, and sometimes it can throw my session off a bit. But again, if a client is, if one of my clients is like, I want to put on as much muscle as possible, then we will be using insulin pre and post at some point. I should be taking some at the moment to get food, and I'm taking 125 grams of carbs around training. So I would argue, actually, if I explained what I was doing to anybody else, I'd be like, you fucking stupid for not taking that. But I know also that how easily my body uptakes glucose. And I don't, if I had to sit down when we did this, because this is straight after my leg session, and have some pancakes dry, because if I didn't, I would have hypoed within 30 minutes, and I'll probably hypo in the next half an hour. So I was 105 kilo mid last week, but I was 103 kilo yesterday because I missed fucking 10 meals at the weekend and couldn't catch it. 105 kilos before the weekend. What are you at now? No, you sent me your chat. I did it live for you, 90. Yeah. And I just think, again, everybody knows I'm not a big fan of being like, well, if your blood glucose is high, you need Lantus. If your food, it is a nutrient partitioner. It is a nutrient driver. We have the ability to take drugs and increase our body's ability to partition nutrients. So if there is a time, if there's a time that you can do that and you have the food to do it, then it's like putting a turbo on a car, in my opinion. It's just making everything a bit more efficient. I've got one. Is massage work really needed? And if so, is there a time it is more important, i.e. prep or off season? I do believe therapy work is of vital importance. Having spent, 3 or 4 years at university studying that shit, and we're going through periods of not getting it and getting it, it makes the difference. And you've just got to think about it logically. When you are training, your muscles are becoming tighter and more pumped. So you are putting more tension and stress through your tendons and joints. Then you are lifting a shit ton of weight, putting more stress through your tendons and joints. You are taking insulin, like we just spoke about. You are taking steroids. All of these drugs increase your body's ability to hold glycogen, hold water, and be bigger and more pumped all day, which means that your tendons are under more stress and more strain all fucking day. So therefore, you are much more inclined to run into injuries and issues all fucking day. So it just makes logical sense to keep them as supple and as flexible and as therapied as possible. And I say all of this and I am absolutely shit at being regular with my therapy work, but I certainly should be, and I feel better when I am better. And your soreness will be higher for the next 3 or 4 weeks because you are able to utilize the contractile tissue better. So the problem with a lot of therapists is, and it's a customer problem as well. If you're into sport, it's in your head that it should hurt, and it's in the therapist's head that you should feel as if they fucking. Some therapists I've been to, it's just a game to see what your pain tolerance is. And they also feel that they should be doing that so that the client feels, they go away and they're like, fucking hell, he's classing me, battered me, she battered me, yada, yada, yada. When it isn't. It should be painful, yes. And you should know that you've had it done the next day to a point. But it shouldn't be, I'm about to tap out for fuck's sake, this is that painful. I went to see that guy in Benoist that everybody sees, and his whole goal was just to get you to tap out. And it was literally, that was it. And everybody said the same thing. And it was like how they obviously judge his service or whatnot. Best massages are those ones you get at the pool parties in Ibiza when you're already off your nut, because they just feel fantastic. Whose idea was it to have a puppy and a fucking cat? Make sure you pick yourself right. Sometimes it can be unavoidable if this in certain stages. Like some stages, the way they set up, they are just mad hot and everybody's sweating. But you should be able to, on show day, run through rounds of posing and not pour out with sweat. If you're sweating when you pause, you're holding water and you need to keep pausing. Like I've got to see a client last year, and he'd obviously been fucking about with his diet. It was like 9 o'clock at night and he was running through pauses. The scale was up and he was sweating within one round. I made him do 6 or 7 rounds of pausing every hour between 9 o'clock and midnight. He woke up the next day 3 kilo down and he wasn't sweating anymore. So it is for me a good indication if you are the day before show, the morning of show, and you instantly start sweating doing 1 or 2 rounds of pausing, you're holding fluid and something's not right. There was a couple of people walking around, right? They looked green. They had that much dream talent. It was ridiculous. And they were walking around with their clothes off all day with it on. They must have put it on with a fucking creosote roller or something, mate. It was insane. Like, if you're using a full tub, you've used too much. Yeah? Yeah. Here, I've got one for you. Do we need Primo or Mass for competing, or can EQ replace them both without much difference? It can replace them both. End of. It's better. I do like it as a drug in a low dose, and I think it works well in some cycles if your body tolerates it, but it has got no relation to Primo or Mass in a contest prep setting. Yes, you can use it as part of your anabolic load in an off season, or in part of your anabolic load in prep. I've done that with people, but it's not replacing anything. It's not controlling estrogen like Dex says. It's not replacing anything. Yes, sorry, yeah. I've found 50 mg of Trenase and 50 mg of DHB does some very fantastic, interesting stuff in terms of body recomposition. I've got a good one. Starting GH dose for first time, or starting GH for the first time soon. Any advice on brand, dose, timing, and should I run insulin with it? For me, first time use, depending on how advanced you are and how much you want to push it, anywhere from 3 to 5, 3 to 5 IU pre-workout for the first 4 to 6 weeks. Assess the response, assess how you feel. After that, there is no limit to dosage apart from your wallet. I would max your pre-workout dose at 4 to 5 IU. I would put another dose in pre-bed, 3 to 5 IU, and you can do it every day. Growth hormone is a drug where you will get some out of 3 to 5 IU 5 to 7 times a week. The more you take, the more you will get out of it. But something to consider is growth hormone allows your body to create new muscle cells over time, right? So why would you not want to use it early doors if funds allow? For like Riz says, it is medically proved to be safe. It has no toxicity on the body at all. Yes, if you take mad high doses, it can impact insulin resistance, but it creates no toxicity that steroids do, and it allows you to create new muscle cells that then can be made bigger. So it will just make you a bigger version of you, and those muscle cells will stay about forever. Now, the flip side is people seem to respond differently to it. I've taken growth hormone for a long period of time, some pretty high doses. I don't get any side from it, and I can't see it's done anything miraculous to my physique at all. But I have watched people take it and totally transform from it. So like anything else, it's dose dependent, but it's also genetically response dependent. This guy's got a phenomenal physique. He's a PCA pro, Dean Nicholson, who asked the question. So some growth hormone, mate, in your physique will do you fucking wonders. You are? Yeah, add that shit in. I've been taking, yeah. I suppose it depends. I don't think people should be running TB and BPC all of the time, personally. But it's very useful when you've got niggles, injuries, maybe run it for 4 6 weeks every 3 months. And then I suppose it depends what else you're classing as a peptide. And it comes back down to this. If you take a peptide and it makes you feel better, so if you take MOTS-C and your energy is better, and it allows you to push your food heavier without feeling lethargic, it allows you to increase the energy in your sessions, then take it. L-carnitine. Some people think it's a waste of an injection. We are all fans of it. When I take L-carnitine, my energy throughout the gym is better. My cholesterol numbers are better. So I am a fan of L-carnitine because what I'm saying is that I take that particular supplement because I feel it work in the gym and I see it work on my blood work. So understand what these peptides are supposed to do, are claimed to do, look at the science, try one at a time. Don't put fucking 5 in at once, because then you don't know what's going on. Put it in. If you see a benefit, then it's worth running. If you don't, then it's not. It's no different to fucking anything else in the world. There's no need to overcomplicate it. Come on then. What the question again, Riz? So, 4 subs, a pre-workout, a protein powder, an omega-3, and creatine, drugs, testosterone, equipoise, oxy, and Superdrol. Peptides, TB500G and BPC, because they're just amazing at injuries. Insulin, if that comes under peptides. MT, because it is absolutely outrageous, gives you a boner, gives you a fucking tan. And you can even use it to stem your appetite in a way safer way than you can with fucking GLPs. I don't want to say growth hormone because I don't really, considering the amount of money I spend on it and use, I can't say I've ever physically got much benefit from it, so it wouldn't be a favourite. Nice. She's deployed the air fryer too quick. These fucking animals, I swear to God, whose idea was this? Honestly, right, Kai would never give two fucks about what I was doing until I got a puppy. And now he wants to be in all the time. He doesn't fuck off like he used to. He used to not see him all day. Now he wants to be in here where she is. She wants to play with him. Fucking nuts, isn't it? Yeah, Dumb and Dumber. I suppose it depends who's asking. If you've already got stuff locked on and you know what you're doing, then yes, get it in sooner rather than later. If you're pretty new to this, then don't fuck about with it until you've got your eating sock, because you can. Yeah. If we're talking about post-show, the only thing you've got to worry about is post-show you are more insulin sensitive. So you're going to more likely run into hypos, which is then going to cause you to eat more, and then you are more inclined to store fat if you overeat and fuck it up. So I don't never really use it in the first 4 to 6 weeks unless I have a client with a really weak body part that we want to put a lot of focus on. Then he will be having a high day and he will have some insulin in that high day, because even though he doesn't need the insulin to manage his blood glucose, it will still increase the uptake of amino acids, increase the uptake of glycogen, and also Lantus helps increase IGF levels. So we are creating an additional anabolic environment that's got fuck all to do with blood glucose levels to help that muscle be fueled to perform better, be fueled to grow better, and be fueled to recover better. Best advice, worst advice. Best advice, always make sure you've got enough money in the bank and you don't have to borrow for the people. Worst advice, always make sure you can see your abs in the off season. And it was the worst advice for me because I was a fat kid. As soon as I gain weight, it goes on my midsection. So if you looked at me in a vest and very short shorts, you would presume I was 10% body fat a lot of the time. But if you look at my midsection, you'd presume I was 15 or 16. Because everybody used to say it, as soon as I lost my abs, I would stop growing, stopping my food, and it would fuck with my head. That as stupid as it is, that was one of the main things that fucked most of my growth periods. So that was terrible advice for me. Go Wiz. Okay now. The only time I would ever reduce protein is if we're getting digestive issues. Yes, I still wouldn't. If it was causing me stomach issues, I would. But if in an off season, you're upping food at a certain point, not for macros, for simply calories to grow. So if I was upping carbs and reducing protein, I wouldn't be upping my fucking calories anyway, would I? So it would just be offsetting the increase. Yeah. If you're happy to be patient and you're not in a rush and you're not trying to be the biggest version of you possible, then it's a sensible way to do things. You know, if you're a lifestyle client, I have some people that do modeling and whatnot, that they need to stay lean year round. So then you just take your time and you have to accept that you will gain less muscle, but you will look great all year round. So, you know, my opinion changes with females to a point, because I also know that mentally it can be very difficult for females getting soft in the off season. Having spent a decade working with people with eating disorders, over a decade, I know the impact